Hello all, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and today we are going to see how to create a table in the schema, right? So firstly, under the YouTube workspace I am going to create a one notebook, right? So I select this one, and if I just click on this one, so I can create a notebook, right? So whenever you want to create a works any notebook, so first go to the workspace and create a notebook under respective workspace. Now just create a workspace, right? So if I just give the name our workbook as a create table. Okay, firstly create table, this is our work or notebook name. Now syntax is very easy. So create table, create or replace. So first you can, so create or replace place table, table name. So suppose we are going to, the table name is table test. So already like I created table test as one table, so let me default, so let's delete the previous table. So I can delete this one. Okay, firstly what I will do, I will just drop table name. So I can copy this one, so don't worry, just ignore it, the copy comma. Let's see comma is working or not, like when we have the multiple table. Okay, I can show the error, right? So let's queue that. So let's run test one. Till now what I can do, I can just copy this one and I can paste here one more table we have. So last time when I checking this one, I already created this table. 2. Okay, let's run this one also. So whenever you got okay means that command is successfully run. So let's run this command also. So this is also okay, right? Okay, let's see we have table 2 or not. So here we just forgot to add t, right? So whenever you want to drop any object in the Databricks, drop that object name. If you drop the table, if you drop schema, write that. And last one is df. Let's see default, under default tables, so we have df. Let me run this also. Okay, so I just delete all the cell, and then we can start with the fresh. Okay, so I just refresh this one, and then so to create a table we need to use the create. So here I can select the SQL, because we are going to use the SQL create table, table name, right? Table test. So this is our table name. So now we are not provided the hierarchy. Like first one is the catalog. So this is catalog, and then we have schema, and then we have the table. This is the hierarchy. So here we have not provided the any. So now any catalog, right? So then let me add id, this is int, comma, name is string. So we created two column. So our table name is table test and there are two columns. So now we have here we have not provided the catalog and schema. So as you know that like whenever you not provided anything, by default it will go to the under this workspace catalog. Under this workspace we have the default schema. Under this default schema, so our table will be here. If I refresh table, so you can see the table test under this workspace catalog. So this is our table, right? Now let me show you that like suppose already table is there, so but you don't want to create once again, like rather than checking if you don't know, so we have the if exist command. Like how we can use that now is, let me try to create a same table, create table if exist, if not exist, and table name. So I can copy this table as it is. Now sometimes rather than creating multiple tables, when you just you can verify, right? Now we already have that table, right? So when I try to run this one, it will show the error message. So table test, let me, so if you see the table is not created but it's not given the error message, so no worry. So under this table, even though we given the capital name but it's showing in the small, so I think this is the how it will work. So now we have seen this how to create a table. Like if we not provided the table, now let's see what we want. We want to create a table under this catalog, under this catalog and under this schema test, right? How we can do that? So their syntax is again very easy. Just give the create, here I can change to the SQL, right? Create table and then we can copy this path, schema path, and then we can give the our table name. Again I am giving the same table name. So again it will create in the, but we want to create a table under this catalog, under this schema. Now if I run the code, if you see under this schema test, the table will be created. And now if I try to refresh, okay, we selected I think Scala. Now if I try to run the code, okay, so we here if I refresh this under this schema, our table will be created. Just try to refresh. Okay, let me refresh whole page, then it will show. I think now it will show the our table name. Okay, so I think we are not given the whole syntax, right? We just given the create table and table name. So we are not provided the column name, right? So I just forgot to add the column name also. So it will not created. Let's see. Okay, so here we just forgot to add the, so wait for till this, it's little bit slow. Let's get log test. Under this catalog test we have the schema, that name for that name is schema test. And let's see, So now if you see table is created, but we have not provided the, so let me drop this table and then create once again, drop table. So again, like if you want to drop the table from the this catalog, this schema, and this is a table, and drop table, table name, and this one, and now I want to create this table with the column name. So id is int, comma, name is string. Now let's see, firstly let's cut it, first drop it, and let's try to create a table into the new cell. Okay, so now if you see create table, this is our catalog name, this is schema name, and this is table name, right? And now if I run the code, so column will be created. Now if I try to refresh the our window, this is catalog test, schema test, and table test. So now we have the column, right? ID and name. Now what happened, we created the table, but we want to see all the table, right? So we use the show keyword, like show tables. If I use this command, show tables, and if I select the SQL, by default, as I mentioned, it will show the all the tables under this catalog name workspace and default schema. So it will show the all the table names in the this works, this catalog and this schema. So schema name is default. So basically it will show all the table name under this default schema. So if you see database showing the default, this is the all table we have, and if we have the total 10 tables, right? Show database is now, if I want to see all the tables under this schema test, how we can do that? Again, we can use the show tables in, and then we can give the path. So we can copy this one and paste it. So we want to see all the tables under catalog text and schema text. So, and here give the space and change the language to the SQL. Now if I try to run, we have only one table, right? So it's showing database name, table name, and is the table is temporary or not, it's showing the false. Now suppose what you want, we just want to see the schema of the particular table. So how we can do that? Just use the describe keyword, describe and table name. So here change into the SQL, and so table name is, suppose our table name is this one, we just want to see the schema. Schema means column name and their data type. So now if you see describe, and if I try to run, let's see. Okay, we forgot to add the table name, right? So we need to add the table name also. So our table name is table test. I can copy this one. First one is catalog name, then schema name, and then table name. So now let's try to run it. So describe, catalog name, schema name, and table name. So now if you see, it will show the column name, id and name, their data type, and comment. So we don't have any comment, right? Now if you want to see the whole detail about the table, so we have describe extended command or keyword. So describe extended, and here changed into the SQL. Now again just pass the catalog name, schema name and table name. So describe extended, catalog name, schema name and table name. So now it will show the whole detail, like who created the table, what is the table type, then location and all the things. Right now if you see, it will show the column name, then catalog name, database name, table name, created time, last access, created by, type is managed. So whenever you not provide any location, that means we created the managed table, right? So external table, like external, how we can create the table using external location, that we can see in another video. So by default, when you create any table in Azure Databricks or Databricks, that table data type is delta table. So owner is this one, is manage location, yes, and optimization enable. So this is the describe extended, it will show in the detail information, right? So now what happened, using this table, suppose I want to create a table using this table, right? How we can use that, ct as cts. So create table as a select. So now suppose I want to create a one table, new table, table test new. By using this table I just want to copy whole this table into the another table. So how we can do that, so create table, I can select SQL, and suppose what I want to do that, suppose I just copy this one path, because we need to give the path, right? And here I want to give the new as let me stop. So it will create it, but don't worry, it will create empty table. So just copy here, we created by mistake, so I just drop the table firstly, and now if I run the table, so we drop this table, and we want to create this table using this existing table, table test. So how we can do that, now as select star from our this table name, I can copy the path, even though you can apply the filter, like suppose we have the multiple rows, right? And if you want to create a rows on the basis of filter, so you can give the filter condition also, right? And now if I select this one, like run the query, our new table will be created. That table name is test new under this schema test. And now if I refresh this one, so table is created, no rows written. So let's me run the code, refresh this window, and if you see, so we have this table also, so we have the id and name also. Now what happened, using data frame, how we can create, suppose now sometimes you create a data frame and that data frame you want to store as a table. So how we can do that, firstly to create a data frame we need a data, right? Suppose now I have a data, so whenever you want to create a data we must in the square bracket, and for the each row we must use the round bracket. So we have one, and suppose name is maybe suppose 2, and name is xyz. We have one more row, and that name is suppose id is 3, and name is abc. So basically we have the two columns, id and name. So now we define the data. Now we need a schema means column name. So what is our column name? First one is id and second column name is name. Now we need to create a data frame means table. So to create a table, like create a data frame in the PySpark, we use the create data frame function, and there we need to pass data variable and schema variable. So if I use data and schema variable, right, and now we created data frame. Right, now if I just see the display and df, right, now let's run the code. I just want to see how data frame will look. So we created data frame here, but that data frame we want to store in the table right here. How we can do that? So how we can do that? So just here we create a data frame, we see. So df dot write dot format. What is our format? As I mentioned previously, each table form type is, or format type is delta. So we need to use delta double quote comma save as table. So save as table name. So what is our table name? Suppose table name is data. So let me give this path, or like by default let's see table test and df. And now if I try to run this code, so here if you see we just not provided the path. So as I mentioned previously, where exactly it will be stored. So we run the query, right? So if you not provide the catalog schema, by default it will go to the under this default workspace. So here if you see we have this one. So now what I will do, I just want to create the table under our this path. So let me minimize it. Now suppose you want to create the table here, so I can just copy this path and I can rename the our table here. Let's see, and here I can give the df. So now this is our catalog name, this is schema name. Okay, so now if I try to refresh our catalog window, then if you see now we created the test df, so our table name is here. So that's all about the today's video. Like we have seen from the, if I go to the revise this one, so this is our syntax: create table, table name, and then column name and data type. If we want to check, like don't want to overwrite, then we can use the if not exist. If table is not there, then at that time only we want to create a table, then we can use the if not exist, right? So then here we provided the whole path: catalog name, schema name, and table name. So by default, if you not provide the catalog and schema, that table will like created into the workspace and default schema, right? Here we just see the how to drop a table, right? Drop table and catalog name, schema name, and table name, right? And next one, suppose this here we again created the table, and then if you want to see all the tables list, show tables. So by default it will show the all the tables under default schema or database. Now if I want to see all the tables in the schema test under this schema, so show tables in catalog and schema name. Then it will show all the table. Now suppose if you want to see the schema of the particular table, describe, catalog name, schema name and table name. So it will show the all the respective column name, data type and comment. Now if you want to show, like if you want to see detail about the table, so describe, extended, catalog name, schema name and table name. And now at the last, suppose we want to create a table from existing table, so create new table name, and we want to create this new table from using the create table as select from the existing table name, right? So this is the new table name, this is old table name, right? And now how we can create a table using the data frame. So firstly we created a data frame, and then data frame we write into the delta format, and this is the path. So that's all about the table in Databricks. If you have any question, any doubt, please write down in comment, and please subscribe the channel. Thank you.